What should you put your money into to actually get the best ROI and get the most followers, most engagement, most sales from it? Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. If you're new here, you don't know who I am, my name's Anthony. I run a 1 million follower network on Instagram, and I also run an Instagram marketing agency. I make videos like this to help you take your account from zero to hero, show you how to grow, how to monetize, and everything else in between. So if you're trying to do any of that stuff, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel because we put out a new video almost every single day. I also give away free Instagram audits every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you want me to go ahead and rip apart your Instagram account, tell you what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right, the pros and cons, and what you need to do to actually get to where you want, make sure you go ahead and enter. All that you need to do to enter is just be subscribed to the channel and leave a thoughtful comment on this video, and that is all you have to do. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I go ahead and I reach out to one of you guys and let you know who won. So with that said, let's get straight into the video. I outlined some pros and cons of ads, some pros and cons of influencers, and I'm kind of going to give my take on it on what you should do. So let's start off with ads. What are the pros about ads? Well, the first thing that I can think of when I think of what is a pro of an ad is that once an ad is set up, it's pretty passive, right? Once you learn how to create the ad and everything's set up and everything's running and you're dumping your money into it and you have everything set up, you literally just keep feeding money to that ad and it runs and runs and runs, and every day, every week, every month, you roughly know exactly what you're going to get out of it. You roughly know how many followers you're going to get, how much your engagement is going to increase, how many sales you might make based off of past testing. So once it's all done, it is super passive and one of the easiest things to do. It only costs money. And the other thing that kind of feeds into that is you know what you get for X amount. After you're running ads for 3 months and your testing is done, is as optimized as it could be, you basically know, hey, when I put in 10 bucks, I get 100 followers, or when I put in 100 bucks, I get 1,000 followers. And that's what I really like when you're going ahead and you're dealing with influencers. Each influencer is different. Some pages turn out to be dead, some pages turn out to have fake followers on it. I know that when I run an ad, I can get a certain number of followers for a certain amount of money. The other pro about ads is that the targeting is as extreme as it gets. It's as detailed as you can get it. You can't really target that much with Instagram influencers. You can go and target to the niche, to your demographic. You try to meet what the influencer has and what demographic it is that you want. But with ads, you get something that you just can't have with influencers, and that is that really detailed targeting. When you're running a good Instagram ad, again, never use the promote button. Always do story ads or run them through the back end Facebook Power Builder or Power Editor, whatever the thing's called, and run the ads through there because of the advanced targeting you get. And you can target people the same way you target them on Facebook. A few things change, but nonetheless, you get that very, very in-deep research targeting. Now, what are the cons about ads? One of the cons about ads is that it takes time to learn. Now, I'm not saying just because it takes time to learn that you shouldn't do it. You should always be learning new things and learning ads and learning everything about the Instagram platform, but this is the type of thing where it takes a lot longer to learn how to properly set up an ad than it takes to go ahead and find the right influencer. Now, you should invest your time into it, but when you're starting off and you're really low on time, this might not be the best option for you. The other thing about ads is typically they're going to be a lot more expensive than influencers. Remember, influencers are very, very undervalued and very, very underpriced. As years go on, year after year after year, you can expect influencer prices to go up a ton of money. Like right now, everything about influencers and rates that they charge are so undervalued. They are so cheap. The result that you can get by paying an influencer is you pay 10 times the amount paying ads. So that is the biggest thing, is that it just costs more money. And then the other thing about ads is that it's constant testing and tweaking. You know, even once you have the whole thing set up, like I said, you can get it to the point where it's passive, but that takes a long process to get there. There's a lot of tests you need to run. There's a lot of tweaking you need to run. You never really want to be satisfied with your ad because you always want to go ahead and see, how can I get 1 more follower with the same budget? How can I get 10 more followers with the same budget? How can I reach more people that I want? How can I get this to make more sales? So there's always going to be that constant tweaking and testing and stuff like that. And it's the same thing with influencers, but with ads, you know, it's really basically analytical. Now, moving into influencers, my best influencer pro that I love it is, again, like I said, how cheap they are. It is so much less expensive compared to ads. I know that if I run an ad, you know, it might cost me 100 bucks to get 1,000 followers, but if I get the right influencer and I negotiate the right deal, or I negotiate a package deal, I could probably be getting 10,000 followers for $1,000. So your money is just stretched a much longer way. The only thing about that is that you need to know what to look for, right? You need to know, you know, if the influencers actually have good followings, if it fits your demographic. But other than that, they are so much cheaper compared to normal standard ads. The other thing is that it's easy to find influencers. So with ads, it takes a lot of time to learn, but with influencers, you know, it's really quick to go ahead and learn. I mean, I teach it in my course, I teach it on consulting calls or anything like that, and people get the hang of it within, you know, the first time looking at it. It's super easy to go ahead and do. With the ad, you have to learn all that targeting, you have to make the actual ad image and all that stuff, but with influencers, it is so easy to just find an influencer, they screenshot you their demographics, you know exactly what they have as an audience, you know that that audience is going to match, and then you just go ahead and you pair up with them. Super easy to find them. Now, I have 2 cons for influencers, and there's really nothing you can do to combat this. And the first thing is that it's basically the Wild West out there, right? Prices aren't set. There's scams that happen each and every single day. People have fake followers on their accounts and pass them off as real. But as this is a con, it also has its pros. Since it is the Wild West, that is how you can go ahead and get things for much cheaper. That is why influencers are so much cheaper than ads. That is why brands put more money into influencers than they put into ads, because as it's the Wild West and as there are scams out there, it also means that there's room for very extreme negotiation. There's room for very cheap deals, and you get a major bang for your buck. Now, the only con that I think is a real con about influencers is that it's simply not as targeted. I don't think you could ever get as targeted as running an actual ad as you would for influencers. But on the flip side, you're sending it out to the masses, right? The masses are seeing this, so they get people who follow you are going to be targeted, because no one's going to follow you if they don't like you, unless if you're running a giveaway. If you're running a giveaway, yes, people will follow you even if they don't like you for the sake of winning the giveaway. But if you're not incentivizing them with anything like that, then the people who follow you will go ahead and follow you. The only thing is that you might be paying a little bit more for that influencer just because they have a big following, but it's not targeted, right? But at the same time, it's cheaper than ads. So either way, you really work out and win. So Instagram ads versus influencers, I'm for influencers all the way. If I had $1,000, $10,000 to grow a page and I wanted to grow all through paid advertising, I would put my money into influencers 100% of the time, way before I put it into ads, because I know that for $1,000, I can get way more followers, or for $10,000, I can get way more followers with influencers than I ever would running ads, right? I think ads are really good if you want to go ahead and make more sales, but at the same time, influencers are just as good for sales. And honestly, right now, if you have the money, if you have the budget, put it into the influencers. Ads are a little bit more expensive. Story ads are pretty cheap. I would recommend testing with story ads, but again, that's stuff you have to learn. And if you're limited on time and you just want to get a bang for your buck, just go ahead, learn, take a training on how to go ahead and find the right influencers, and then go ahead and use the influencers to push your products, push your brand, and grow exponentially. So guys, with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you go ahead and drop it a like. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more daily uploads about Instagram, whether you're trying to grow or trying to monetize. We cover all of that. If you guys want to see my webinar that is in advance, about an hour long, make sure you carve out about an hour of time to watch this webinar. I go over exactly how to grow on Instagram, what the big gurus don't tell you, and mainly I cover the 3 lies about Instagram that are actually holding you back. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, the link will be in the description for free advanced webinar training. With all that said, guys, keep grinding, keep hustling, and I'll see you all on the next one.